Yuji excitedly said, "It's truly a miracle." "Is that a phoenix?" "It really looks just like me." Tiandong widened his eyes and said, "I don't know why, but I have a bad premonition." Hanju said tiredly, "Congratulations on reaching the Golden Dan stage." Feng Liang knelt on the ground, tears in his eyes. "If you don't mind, I would like to adopt you as my righteous father." Hanju, upon hearing this, said, "Don't bring up that nest Tiandong made when we return." The brilliance in the sky and the golden snow on the ground had already disappeared. Feng Liang walked out of the cave. "Everyone, look, he's out." Tiandong was the first to run over and ask Feng Liang, "Xiao Liang, did you break through?" Feng Liang wiped his tears from his face and said, "Master sacrificed his cultivation and lifespan, personally helping me reshape my qualifications." Yongqi, Tiandong, and Yuji were all shocked by Feng Liang's answer. Tiandong quickly asked, "Reshaping qualifications?" Yuji thought further, "Wasn't that phenomenon not him?" Before he could finish, Hanju's voice came from inside, "Xiao Hei cannot ask. Also, the demon race outside is reviving, so you few shouldn't wander off the mountain." Although no clear answer was given, everyone understood and had their own thoughts. Tiandong thought, "Reshaping qualifications is going against the will of heaven." No wonder there was thunder earlier, followed by the brilliance. Yuji, however, couldn't believe that Hanju would make such a decision. He thought, for a disciple with limited qualifications, the master actually sacrificed his cultivation and lifespan. Yongqi admired him greatly, thinking, "Master seems cold toward those around him, but in reality, he has a warm heart." Chang'an had just returned from Shiquan and, seeing Feng Liang standing there, happily said, "Lianger, did you break through?" He staggered over and asked, "Why are you crying like this?" The boy sobbed, his body trembling, and answered self-critically, "Master. Master sacrificed." Feng Liang cried, I shouldn't have done this. I caused Master to sacrifice his lifespan. If I keep doing this, will I not live long? How should I face him in the future?" He placed his hand on Feng Liang's shoulder and comforted him, "Xiao Liang, have you forgotten what Master said?" Shi Quan said, "Chang'an brought the light of the party and people." "Ah, no, he brought the light of Master, which illuminates the disciples' path forward." He added, "The arduous cultivation mountain doesn't take in just anyone. There's a reason why he did what he did. You must trust Master. If he made such a decision, there must be a turning point, so don't blame yourself too much." He continued, "Master works hard in cultivation, and normally, he wouldn't take in disciples. There are many excellent disciples in the Yuqing sacred sect, but only a few reach here. Honestly, I didn't want to hide it. I came here because I was troubled by emotions. I originally planned to spend my remaining years in peace. But Master gave me a mission and dignity, and I realized I wasn't completely empty." Feng Liang asked, "What is the mission?" Chang'an continued, "My master's true form is an ancient spirit ginseng. It is destined to never run out of spiritual energy. When it comes to the spiritual energy production of the cultivation mountain, the muge tree is definitely the first. And I only take up 1/3 of it." Feng Liang shouted, "Is it really that amazing? No wonder Master values you so much." Ut interjected proudly, "Of course. Do you think we just eat and drink? My father's true form is a phoenix." Tiandong scratched his head after hearing this, wondering if there was anything special about him, all my righteous fathers say I have a demon saint bloodline, but I can't tell how powerful it really is. Yongqi was in a worse situation, sighing, "I don't seem to have any bloodline, I feel like there's nothing special about me." They began to argue about what talents Yongqi had. Chang'an said, "Cheer, haven't you noticed that many things now come from your own understanding?" Yongqi replied, "It really feels like I've seen this before, but I don't know why. Could it be that there's potential I haven't tapped into yet?" Ut interrupted, saying, "I think the basic trait is that no matter what angle you look from, only one of your eyes is ever visible. Tiandong laughed loudly, and Feng Liang stood by, surprised. The boy's tears flowed in two streams, thinking, the threshold to become a cultivator on the cultivation mountain is so high, no wonder no new disciples have joined in so long. Does this mean it's not that I don't have the qualifications, but that the timing just wasn't right? Feng Liang thought, Master has given me a new beginning, I will not disappoint your expectations. To Feng Liang, Hanju was always the one who reached out to help him. Ut said with a brilliant smile, to celebrate Xiao Liang's promotion, we've decided to stop training temporarily and go fishing for 2 days. Chang'an responded, speaking of which, it's been a while since I went to the market to buy fish. Tiandong, remembering the past, said in fear, please don't make fun of me this time, okay? Before he could finish speaking, a powerful energy suddenly began burning from behind them. They all said together, reshaping qualifications is no simple task. This spiritual energy, this purity, it's so high. Feng Liang's mind was focused on only one thought, Master, I'm afraid it's too late. I just want to repay you as soon as possible. The boy stood alone, circulating his energy, making everyone else stunned. Less than half a year later, they were still busy with their own things. Ut went to play ball, Chang'an was practicing sword techniques. Feng Liang continued his hard training, and Tiandong and Yang Qi were still fooling around as usual. The first layer of Golden Dam was completely stabilized and began to exert force. Feng Liang used fishing as a way to show his determination, while also training. Not only that, he even caught a living whale. A legend began at this moment. He practiced even while bathing, and when sleeping, his eyes were wide open, still practicing. In the end, after 3 years, the boy reached the 3rd layer of the Golden Dam stage. Those who saw it were all amazed. Even someone as quiet as Yang Qi couldn't help but say, among those of the same age, Feng Liang's speed of advancement has already surpassed us. Seeing Feng Liang's performance, Chang'an also said, at this rate, Xiao Liang's talent might be the strongest here. Feng Liang immediately displayed, everyone, look. I caught a 350-pound black grass carp. This is amazing. No need to go to the market anymore. The chili powder is ready. Can Xiao Liang touch the fish? I've never caught a fish this big before. But something in the sky looked like a meteor, quickly descending. It was moving at an incredibly fast speed, heading straight for the mountain where Hanju lived. Ut instantly sensed that an enemy was coming. Tiandong's eyes and expression became terrifying as he said, from my intuition, the point of impact is our cultivation mountain. They really have guts. Tiandong was preparing fishing bait and, enraged, jumped onto the shore shouting, it's been years, and there are still people who don't know that throwing things from high up gets you sentenced? Ut stood firm and said, now is the time to fight for Cultivation Mountain with all our strength. Chang'an followed, saying, only success is allowed, failure is not. If we can't stop this, Master will definitely punish us. It sounded easy, but when the meteor fell, oh no. Everyone ran to save themselves. Who had the time to protect the Cultivation Mountain? The remaining people thought to themselves, Tigu, let's see what you're protecting. Tigu panicked inside, thinking, no. This is the last hope of the Air Force. Chang'an, concerned for his disciple, asked, Liang, what's wrong, are you okay? The boy, holding his swollen head, replied, I'm fine. After everyone calmed down, they noticed the object that had just fallen. What exactly is it? It looks like a spirit stone? But no spirit stone looks like this, it seems more like a die. In the end, they decided to take it to Hanju. At this point, Feng Liang began to complain, Master, just now. A stone fell from the sky and hit my head. My teacher and the others couldn't stop it. Let me take a look. Hanju picked up the stone and said, it just fell from the sky? Was there nothing else? The boy replied, yes, Master. After carefully examining it, Hanju thought, the spiritual energy is undisturbed? It certainly can't be an ordinary object. Hanju looked at Feng Liang and thought, is this the child of heaven and earth? Even without leaving his house, he can obtain such opportunities? This is even more unbelievable than what happened to me. While thinking, Feng Liang walked around the room saying, what should I send? I want to study this thing. I can't let you lose out. Feng Liang hurriedly said, it's fine, this treasure should be offered to you. Looking around, Hanju finally decided, you're lucky. I've just come up with a new version of the Heaven's Strange Corpse. Unfortunately, I don't have the right materials to withstand the Tribulation Realm's power, so I can only separate the body to preserve the spiritual energy. Even if we encounter a low-level combined realm cultivator, as long as the 5 parts are together, they can protect you. Consider it a trade for your opportunity. Feng Liang, hearing about the new version of the strange corpse, admired it greatly and quickly said, thank you, master. After Feng Liang took the strange corpse and left, Hanju stood above and thought, being recognized by the child of heaven and earth, this thing must be extraordinary. Hanju stood in the cave, holding the stone up to the light, carefully inspecting it, thinking, no matter what, this is indeed a spirit stone, but its spiritual energy is far beyond other spirit stones. At this point, the earth grass had just woken up. She was stretching her body, planning to wake up fully. Suddenly, the light from the spirit stone in Hanju's hand was blinding. The earth grass thought, do I sense a familiar aura? The earth grass shouted, Master. I think I've seen this stone before. Hanju looked at her and asked, where have you seen it? The earth grass hesitated before replying, my previous master, she once used such a stone during her cultivation. The earth grass words made Hanju somewhat confirm his thoughts. The stone used by immortals really is a heavenly item. The purple stone shone even brighter under the sunlight, and the 5-pointed star pattern carved around it made it seem even more mysterious and marvelous. Hanju thought, it looks like a spirit stone. Hanju, holding his arms, looked at the stone, then made a judgment, if it were just a spirit stone, it wouldn't be something that immortals would hold in their hands every day. The full-force transmission of Tribulation Realm energy couldn't penetrate it, and no trace of energy can be detected. No wonder the immortals always keep it tightly in hand. Its only purpose must be. The earth grass widened her eyes as she gazed at the glowing stone. Hanju immediately thought, enlightenment. He frowned and said, but my cultivation isn't enough to comprehend through this. The earth grass was astonished, you can comprehend the great Tao just by holding it? How amazing. Hanju answered her question, many years ago, I read a book that described this kind of item. He looked into the distance and then told the earth grass, this is called the Enlightenment Stone, and it grows from the roots of a tree or plant. It once gained blessings near the government office, and the plant comprehended day and night, eventually. Hanju looked at the earth grass with sadness. The earth grass still innocently asked, what happened in the end? Hanju looked at the stone before asking the earth grass, do you remember what I promised you? That I would give you a complete life. The earth grass thought for a moment and then blurted out, I remember very clearly. Hanju handed the stone to the earth grass and then said, perhaps the key lies here. The earth grass was surprised, her mouth opened wide upon hearing this, and she froze, huh? Hanju pushed the purple stone in front of her and whispered, take it. He looked at the earth grass and said his thoughts, if you have recognized it, perhaps the immortals have left a trace for you. See if you can comprehend anything? The earth grass, terrified, shouted, no. I'm useless. And how would immortals even notice a grass by the roadside? Hanju sighed, helplessly saying to her, have you never wondered why, out of all the grasses, only you could live for 90,000 years? After saying this, Hanju entered the immortal mountain's cave, reminding the earth grass as he left. Also, I need to cultivate. During this time, watch over this treasure for me. If there are any results, tell me immediately. The earth grass quickly replied, yes, master, I'll complete the task. The earth grass then leaned against the glowing purple stone and took a nap. Time flew by, and 7 years later, in the Yuling sacred sect, an angry and helpless voice rang out, Nine Ding Jinren, the demon cultivators have become increasingly rampant in recent years. In the main hall, Nine Ding sat in the center, with Wu Gang and Xiao Jiao beside him, and the other elders and disciples of the sect below. Everyone was discussing, we must know that since the battle with the green python, our righteous path has suffered severe losses and has yet to recover. When did the demon cultivators rise? It seems they intend to overthrow our rule. The immortal mansion has already intervened, and the Yuling sacred sect should stand up to reassure the people. Nine Ding showed a serious expression and said to the crowd, in recent years, I've received information that the demon emperor from 1,000 years ago has been resurrected and intends to rebuild the empire of the demon cultivators. The people below were shocked. An elder said in surprise, what? The demon emperor? Doesn't that mean the world will fall into chaos? An elder holding a gourd, looking unconcerned, even a bit optimistic, reassured everyone, what's there to fear? The demon emperor is still far from us. The cultivation world is naturally powerful because of the alternation between the righteous and the demonic. This is also the reason why talented individuals constantly emerge. He glanced around and said, we don't need to worry too much. The robots behind also chimed in, that's right, even the mighty green python saint didn't die. People nearby added, although the demon emperor once unified the demon cultivators across the world, that was many years ago, and the times have long since changed. Qingzi watched the heated discussion, but the elder remained silent, unsure of what to say, with a worried expression on his face. At this point, Nine Ding remembered something and asked Qingzi, decades ago, elderly investigated the demon emperor. Has he already discovered something? Recently, there have been almost no reports from the demon realm. Qingzi suddenly looked up at Nine Ding when he mentioned the past. Qingzi then realized the severity of the problem and told everyone, decades ago, Elder Zhanshan specifically asked me to investigate the demon emperor. Perhaps he had already foreseen something, but he didn't say much, and he hoped I wouldn't spread the news, so I've kept quiet about it. All the disciples below were shocked by this news and shouted in unison, what? Xiao Jiao turned to look at Nine Ding, expressing his thoughts. Could it be that Elder Zhanshan already predicted a disaster in the cultivation world? Wu Gang crossed his arms, closed his eyes lightly, and said, he didn't say it to avoid making us worried. Nine Ding lowered his head slightly, his eyes unfocused, his tone filled with clear worry and tension. Even Elder Zhanshan specifically inquired, it seems this catastrophe will not be small. Bu Mia stood up and asked Nine Ding, report, Master, the Wei Blood Flame Heavenly Gate has established the Blood Ming Armor Army and plans to send it directly to the Great Yin. Do you think it's feasible? Hearing Bu Mia's words, Nine Ding replied, the spiritual energy in Great Yin is insufficient to support so many cultivators, it's probably not feasible. Bu Mia felt a bit awkward upon hearing the response. Nine Ding furrowed his brows, his eyes flashing with determination and decisiveness. He gave the order, construct a teleportation array. Everyone work together, help each other, and try to complete it within 2 months. All the disciples of Yuling Sacred Sect shouted in unison, wow! Master is righteous. At that moment, Nine Ding remembered something and reminded, there's one more thing. Under the blue sky and white clouds, soft clouds drifted leisurely. Nine Ding's voice came from outside the hall, go down and notify everyone, restrict all contribution tasks within Great Yin, and summon all disciples outside Great Yin to return. Watching the trees at the roots sparkle under the sunlight, Hanju sat cross-legged on the grass, lost in thought. He then asked himself, is cultivation boring? If I said it's not boring, it wouldn't be possible. In the long years of cultivation, besides contemplating the lessons of a lifetime that must be understood, the rest is cultivating spiritual power, and this step is truly dull. Only by recalling the past can the void be filled, including the memories of my past life. Remembering that time, Hanju held a plate of food, busily preparing dishes. He couldn't help but sigh. In my past life, I was a genius chef, dreaming of making spicy Sichuan cuisine famous in the Ma family. Later, I inherited my